More than 15,000 people are set to attend Italian Tech Week, which kicks off in Turin today, with speakers including Amazon founder Jeff Bezos and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. So Arjun joins us live on the ground with more. Arjun, set the scene for us. What is the buzz at the Italian Tech Week?
Yeah, it's all about AI, of course, big topic here, and there's some major players in the space who are attending, a lot of VCs talking about what they're doing for investment. But at the conference yesterday, I had a chance to get on stage with Microsoft Chief Technology Officer Kevin Scott, and we went through a load of different topics, from building AI agents to OpenAI and also chips. And I want to bring you highlights from that conversation because there was a part of it focused on OpenAI, a company Microsoft first invested in 2019 on the condition that they were their exclusive partner infrastructure-wise with their Azure cloud. In return, Microsoft got certain access to some of this OpenAI tech, but of course that relationship has changed more recently. Reportedly, OpenAI trying to loosen the grip from Microsoft, and we've seen OpenAI try to chart its own path with infrastructure as well. Now the question is, what is the relationship right now with Microsoft? The two recently signed a memorandum of understanding for the next phase of their partnership. I sat down with Kevin Scott and asked him, what is the state of the relationship right now? Let's listen in.
I think, at least for Marian, OpenAI is maybe the most important partner that Microsoft has ever had. And Microsoft is in this interesting position that we've had over its 50-year history, a bunch of important partners. It used to be the thing that drove the entirety of the personal computing industry, which was the technology industry. It was like this partnership between Intel and Microsoft. And to a certain extent, one of the things that's driving the technology industry right now is this partnership between Microsoft and OpenAI. So from my point of view, I'm the CTO. I'm the one who did the initial OpenAI deals, and I'm still responsible for helping us build the right infrastructure into the future to make sure that OpenAI is getting the compute that it needs, because their growth is just breathtaking and wondrous to watch. So from my point of view, it's a good, productive partnership.
Yeah, but you are also looking at your own models, as well as integrating Anthropic very recently. So the approach there is to basically...
So our approach is Microsoft is a platform company, and as a platform company, you have to give your customers what they're asking for. And the thing that I will say in the API business, the overwhelming thing that customers are asking for is OpenAI models. But in some places, they're asking for Anthropic models. In some places, they want to serve open source models. In some places, they want to serve models that they've developed themselves. We have a whole bunch of models that we're building inside of the company that we had been building before the OpenAI partnership, that we've been building continuously through the partnership, that serve very particular needs inside of our own product portfolio, and some that we just do for Microsoft Research, because we're trying to have a better scientific understanding of the possibilities of the future of AI. And so in that sense, I don't think anything's really changing. In order to be the platform that people choose, you actually have to give your customers the things that they want. You can't be insistent that, this is all we offer, and that's what you're going to have to take.
Big statement there from the Microsoft CTO. Perhaps OpenAI is the most important partner the company has ever had, according to Kevin Scott there. That's a big statement, of course, trying to perhaps allay some of those fears about a rocky relationship. But there's no doubt that the relationship has changed. Microsoft integrating other models into its platform as well, while OpenAI is pursuing another path, trying to build out its own infrastructure as well. It'll be interesting to see how that moves going forward. Speaking of infrastructure, that was another large part of the conversation with Kevin Scott, and in particular, how the company is approaching semiconductors. Now, in the data centers that Microsoft is building, it uses mainly NVIDIA chips, some AMD as well, and a little bit of its own silicon as well. But Microsoft is developing its own AI-specific chips under the brand name Maya as well. It first launched that in 2023, and it's reportedly working on the next generation of that AI chip as well. I asked Kevin Scott about Microsoft's plans when it comes to semiconductors in their data centers. Let's listen in.
I think To a first order, it's about making sure that you can get the best price performance chips in the right quantity into your data centers as the demand shows up. And so in that sense, like we're not religious about what the chips are, and that has meant like the best price performance solution has been NVIDIA for years and years now. But we deploy AMD processors into our data centers, like we have our own custom silicon program. We will literally entertain anything in order to ensure that we've got enough capacity to meet this demand.
Is the longer term idea to have sort of mainly Microsoft silicon in the data center?
Yeah, it absolutely. And we have lots of Microsoft silicon in our data centers right now. So like a big part of our general purpose computing fleet is like Microsoft ARM processors. We're making very good progress on our inference chips right now. Yeah. And so it's all about really making sure that again, like we want the same thing I think that everyone wants, which is as we are composing these systems, and we're really sitting there understanding where the model trends are, and like understanding how our customers are using these models, and we want to make sure that you can go from that understanding of the needs of the infrastructure that you're building to being able to assemble the right components and it's less and less every day about the arithmetic logic that's sitting on the chips. It's about the entire system design. It's the networks and the cooling, and you want to be able to have the freedom to make the decisions that you need to make in order to really optimize your compute to the workload.
I thought that was fascinating when I asked if the aim was mainly to have Microsoft AI chips in Microsoft's own data centers. Kevin Scott was like, absolutely. And that was quite a candid response, I think. And that speaks to one of the risks that people have flagged with the longer term NVIDIA story. That is, if the hyperscalers like Microsoft, Amazon and others begin to design and use their own chips, then of course that could reduce reliance on NVIDIA and of course demand for NVIDIA products as well. Of course that is a big if. They need to create technology that is better than what NVIDIA can offer on a price performance basis and many other bases as well. And so that's wait to be seen as well. But interesting to hear that vision from Microsoft here, Ritika.
Yeah, interesting indeed, Arjun. And you've been speaking to some of the biggest names in the US space, but you're in Europe. That's where the event is being held over in Italy. So how important are events like this in terms of developing the European tech space? How is Europe able to compete globally when it comes to AI?
Look, events like these are huge for the European tech space because it brings together investors, it brings together companies, and I was meeting a lot of VCs, etc., just asking them where they're sort of thinking about putting their money this year, etc. But I think when you think about who the headline speaker is here, Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, I think that speaks to one of the big challenges Europe has right now, and that is American tech companies are dominating the AI space when it comes to infrastructure being built on NVIDIA chips, Microsoft data centers, Amazon data centers, OpenAI. And one of the big issues that Europe has is finding a way to compete in this space. There's Mistral AI, of course, here in Europe, which recently got the huge more than €1 billion investment from ASML, and that has continued to help the company grow, and that is being seen as one of the big European champions. But the question is, can Europe create more and more of these AI companies that are able to compete on the scale and the level and with the capital, more importantly, that a lot of these US giants can?
All right, thank you so much there, Arjun Karpal, on the ground there in Turin, Italy.